Welcome back to the channel. I'm actually in Guildford today and we're doing a PC review on an all-in-one desktop PC. I've been asked on this new project, they want to go completely wireless in the office. We're going to very much old-fashioned desks that not really designed to have a PC installed with lots of cabling off the back and stuff like that. So they've got modern desks at the moment, but going back to these old-fashioned desks. So less cabling on the desk, the better it looks, because obviously it's going to be it's going to be stationed in the middle of the room to be started. So we've gone for all these all-in-one PCs. We can go Wi-Fi. So we've got nice Wi-Fi installed up on the wall in the same room as where the desks are. We're going to modernize the BT phone system to a full wireless system. So that way there's again, less cables to run. So one for the power supply and one for the PC desk itself. We're going to replace these keyboards that have got cables on it to wireless keyboards. Again, limited in the cables on the desk. So on the old style desks, they should look really nice and modern. So this is a HP all-in-one PC, desktop PC. It's an iCore i5 processor. I'll try to remember the spec of it in a minute. I'll get the spec details for you in a sec. But I want to literally, rather than go through and say, oh, this is a PC, this is how much RAM it's got in there, they're boring. So I'm going to show you what I look for in a PC. It's got to be nice and fast. So I look for decent amount of RAM, decent amount of storage. Because these are classed as dumb terminals and they don't actually run any Office software on them, it just literally allows them to connect to their cloud software. Doesn't need to be a lot on there. So again, storage can be a minimum. Doesn't have to be big enough to store lots of programs and files, because they're not going to be storing program files. They definitely don't store their documentations on here. It's all on the cloud base itself. So literally just going to be dumb desktop PCs using Google to search and do online shopping, I suppose. Then logging into their cloud software with a remote desktop, which does everything on their workhorse. So we're going to make sure so the spec's got to be minimum. So I always go for as much RAM as possible. SSD at least 512 gig minimum to go on it. These have the M.2 sticks in them that helps to boost the performance of the SSD, so it's quite instant. So I'm going to show you the boot time on this, how quick and fast it is. So let's get on with the boot. So this is going to be the boot sequence. I'm going to turn it on and it's going to be real time for you guys to watch how quick it does actually boot into Windows. Right, so we go. I'm going to boot it up, see how fast this is. So power button is just literally behind on the right hand side. Power light should come on there. Power light's on. Here we go, booting time. This is in real time. HP logo. Bang. There we go. Windows loaded. And I just need to quickly log in. Nice and quickly, and there we go. There's Windows 11 on the HP machine itself. How fast and how quick is that? Really nice and fast. Why we actually got this screen here, very much similar to Windows 10. This has got a very Chrome kind of look at the bottom here, which is the new menus that Windows 11 gives you. You got that little menu, very much Chrome-like on that side. The File Explorer, very much like Windows 10. The only difference is the icons on here, which I don't think you can see properly. A kind of really nice now. They've got a kind of a folder look with, and they've been coloured as well for different things. I think the download's got a green folder, desktop's got a blue, documents is grey, pictures is a blue with a sort of a picture kind of thing, and you got music kind of a reddish with the music logo on it, and videos is kind of purple with the play button. So, and apart from that, the rest of the File Explorer looks very much similar to Windows 10 itself. Yeah, sorry about the lighting in here. It's not really fantastic lighting, as I said. Anyway, so yeah, so that's the booting time. That's in real time. That's how fast it was with the power button on, straight in, nice and quick. So it's also using a built-in SSD drive. I think this one is, I'll get a spec for you in a sec. So the spec for this one is so 8 gig of RAM, which is really nice. I always go for 8 gig minimum, not this 4 meg anymore kind of thing. And it's got the hard drive itself. Change the menus on this a little bit. So I think the hard drive is 512 gigabyte SSD, and I use an M.2 stick as like a fast boot device. Makes the SSD run a bit more quicker, hence why it was nice and fast to load in there. So it's got 11th Gen Intel Core i5, and that's the 1135G7 at 2.4 gigahertz. And I believe the cores, I think it's five core. I can't, they changed all the menus around on this, so I can't get the cores up. So it's five core, 2.4 gigahertz. So it's nice and quick But as I said, on these machines, they're not built to run the applications. I really kind of purchased this as a very low spec-ish, so it can just handle remote desktop, which is what they use for all their applications. It's kind of classed as a dumb terminal. Eventually we'll move from the remote desktop completely off and go completely cloud-based. So the part we have moved from is the Exchange. They used to have their own Exchange server, which was under a virtual server. We come off of that, we've gone straight to Microsoft. So we're now on Microsoft's hosted cloud version of Microsoft Exchange. And there's got 3 users here, all calendar share and sharing each in inboxes. So that's accessible through the web browser, but that's actually installed using the app on the remote desktop. So eventually, once they get rid of the remote desktop and switch over to Microsoft Teams, then it can run all from these desktops here itself, which is nice and easy. And it's that because Teams is accessible on an iPad, a PC desktop, or a Mac desktop. They can have choices. The users have here, they have desktops here, they have laptops at home, and also they have iPads and iPhones. So changing from Microsoft Exchange to Microsoft Hosted Exchange version, which is now built in with Teams, that way they can actually then migrate over and literally run off the apps, absolute 100% apps, and don't need any software kind of installed. They just log in and away they work. We haven't gone over to Teams just yet on this side because a couple of the guys here are not very computer literate. They like working with more than one spreadsheet open. Teams only allows you to work on one spreadsheet at a time. There is a way of doing it, but it's complicated. The more complex we do it for here, it's going to be harder for them just to get on with it. They're used to opening a few spreadsheets and just have them on the taskbar, and then they can flip between it. Teams doesn't work that way, so it's going to be a whole ball game of them learning it. So maybe sometime this year, in the next couple of months, once they got used to the new version Exchange, we'll load Teams on the machines and they can log into it and play with it to see what they like. Hopefully in the next few months, or maybe in the next 12 months, Microsoft may allow you to open more than one spreadsheet or Word document or a mixture of both on Teams, because that'd be very much what everyone's used to on a desktop. And if that works, then they can then move straight over to that. They won't have to then spend money in a data center hosting their platforms. It can be all done from cloud-based software. So these are kind of old-fashioned, so we've got to move slowly with them, and I'll see as they get used to each process, we'll then add another process into it. And hopefully then they'll be more used to it. Otherwise, we end up dumping it completely in one go. There'll be so much me phoning and going through and teaching them, and yeah, bit by bit. Keep it simple. That's what I say. Keep it simple. So this is the HP all-in-one desktop PC, iCore 5, as I said, 8GB of RAM, 512GB SSD, Windows 11 installed on there, which is pretty nice. It's nice and fast. It's bootable, and this machine is now available under £749. I think when we paid about 800 quid. That was before Christmas. Then after Christmas, it dropped by 200 quid. I couldn't believe it. I did try and do a price match, but I wouldn't go for it. Apart from that, the user's happy. It's a really nice machine to play with. Now on the back of the machine, you've got a pop-up webcam feature here. So that's the webcam. Push it down, turns it off. We've got headphones. We've got an Ethernet port for internet and obviously LAN connectivity. We've got HDMI. I think that goes out to an extra monitor. Not really tried it with another monitor to see if it does work properly, or whether it's an input. I'm not quite sure on that. They're normally an output. Power supply, USB, 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 USB on it. So you've got 4 USB ports on the back. That is it. And obviously, it used to have a DVD drive, but no more DVD drive anymore. That's probably the older model where the DVD drive is actually in there. But again, one of the other machines has got a DVD drive in there, so this is the upgraded model from that one. They're both kind of similar. That is it. There's no card reader on it at all, I don't think. No card reader, just your USB ports. And then obviously turn it around. As you can see on the front here, we've got the pop-up webcam there, and they can use that. So yeah, so it doesn't say whether it's on or not. I don't think the software's installed. I kind of haven't installed the software because, again, they're using as dumb terminal PCs, so it's not really used as a multimedia kind of machine. But there you go. That is it. On and off button, very flexible, very strong kind of stand to move back with. Yeah, it's still quite heavy machine actually, very heavy machine. But it's something they want. It's nice and fast and nice and quick, which is the most important bit.